Welcome. Thank you for joining me today. Over the last 7 weeks, we have been discussing various aspects of your child's education plan. And today, we're going to do sort of a high-level overview and put that all together. If you're joining me for the first time today, I encourage you to take some time over the next few weeks and watch the previous videos. If you get overwhelmed, take it slow. If this is your first venture into home education, take it slow, take it easy, one at a time. Create the plan, do the activity for that video, and then move on to the next one. But today we're going to do an overview. The purpose of the plan is to give you a roadmap for your child's education and develop it in such a way that you don't go crazy with all the stuff. Just ask any home educating parent how much unused curriculum they have or how many classes they've signed up for that they wish they hadn't. It's super easy to think you can do everything that is new and exciting, everything that comes along. You can't. This series was meant to help you develop a plan. Once you have the plan, it'll be far easier to say no. No to things, even if they're good things. So let's have a look at how we're developing this plan. First, we looked at the learning environment. What is your home learning environment? Where will your child be learning? Is it conducive to learning? How will you maintain a healthy learning environment? That's code for how are you going to keep your house clean? What level of cleanliness and tidiness is acceptable to you, to your partner, to the other people in your house? What levels are acceptable and how are you going to maintain them? Do you have systems in place to maintain those standards? And it's easy to maintain those standards when you're not busy with the activities of learning, but how are you going to do it when you're full on home educating? Everybody's in a groove, everybody's busy. Things to think about. Number 2, what kind of person do I want my kid to be? Or what kind of people do I want my kids to be? We want to think about character development. We live in a world, we need to get along with people. How are we going to teach our kids these characteristics, these qualities? What kind of character do I want my kid to have? Like, there's no point in being super well educated, full of knowledge, if you can't get along with people. It doesn't connect. We need to make the world a better place. So what character qualities matter most to you? And there are ways to develop those characters through your academics and through life skills. Sometimes you do an academic thing just for the character building, for the discipline, not just for the knowledge. Number 3, gifts and talents. Everybody's got some sort of thing that they are better at than others. Everybody has some sort of gift or a talent, and these need to be developed, but not to the exclusion of everything else. So we still need to do math. Our kids are still going to have to go to the store, figure out, how much does this cost? How much change should I get? Or am I being ripped off or not? We need math. Even if it's practical consumer math for everyday life, we need some sort of math. We need to be able to read. Reading is a primary way for learning different things. I know we have tons of video, but we do live in a text-based world, so we need to read and, connected to that, write. And of course, I'm with Summit Writing Academy, so I'm going to suggest check us out, see if it's the right writing program for your child. So let's develop those gifts and talents. How can you support them? What if your child plays soccer and they're playing soccer and they love soccer and you pour all this energy into soccer, but you don't do anything else? And your child isn't going to play soccer as a career. Now what? So we need to balance those things, their natural gifts and abilities and talents, and encourage those, and also support them in some of the practical academics, reading, writing, math. Number 4, things your kids need to know before they leave home. What do you wish you would have known before you ventured out on your own? You know, and then you get in a new situation and you think, man, I wish my parents would have taught me about this. Or man, I wish I would have learned this earlier when I had some support and didn't have to figure it out on my own. So you can make a list. What are those things? In the video related to this, we made a list of 10 things and expanded on those. So you can go ahead and watch that video for the expanded version. But most of them are related to life skills. Because at the end of the day, we need to be able to function as adults and make our way through various situations in life. How are we going to handle them? And we need to pass those skills on to our kids so we can give them the tools they need so they have the best chance of success when they're leaving home. The less they have to figure out later, but they can do when they're in a supportive environment, when we can help them through, the better. For example, if they know how to learn, then they have that key to unlock knowledge for the rest of their lives. Just like that little analogy that's there, the principle, you know, if you give the man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach him how to fish, they'll never go hungry. So we don't want our kids to grow hungry. We want to teach them how to fish. And that's what this Things for Your Kids to Know Before They Leave Home is all about. What about number 5, talking about shared duties? You do not have to do all of this home educating on your own. You can outsource. Perhaps you have a partner or a spouse that you can team up with and share those duties. Perhaps you hire somebody to help you. Perhaps you send your kids to some classes. Perhaps you use some DVDs. Perhaps you have online classes. Whatever it is, they're shared duties. So in that video, we talked about time mapping and energy mapping. So you can see exactly how much time do you actually have to devote to your child's education. How much time do you actually have to devote to your child's education, and how much energy? If you're working a 12-hour day, how much energy do you have at the end of the day? And then you're going to plan according to your time and your energy and outsource the things that you don't have time and energy for. Perhaps that is helping your child become a more independent learner. Perhaps it is sending them to a class or having somebody come on board and help you. So we have shared duties. Number 6, personal goals and self-care. Eventually, the goal is that your child will leave home and you'll have given them this gift of education. And then there you are, left at home. Who are you? Have you spent the time to invest in yourself, developed yourself as you have been educating your child? Have you done it? Have you taken some time for yourself? Because if not, you're going to burn out. Everything's going to fall apart if you burn out. You need to take care of yourself. So in that plan, when you're thinking about mapping your time and mapping your energy, we need to also put in time for you, time to take care of yourself. And number 7, extracurricular activities. How much do you want to be running around and be out and about? Perhaps you want to be part of a co-op. Perhaps your kid is in skating or soccer or basketball or whatever it is. How many days a week are you going to be running around? You need to decide. So look back at the time and energy maps that you made. Consider your family. Do you have introverts? Do you have extroverts? How much do you want to be home? How much do you want to be out? And then decide, how many activities are you going to do? So there we have it. That is how we put together our plan. We need to think about all of these things, plug it in, and then give it a trial run. I generally do a trial run for about 2 weeks before we officially start our new plan for the year, just to give it a trial run. Is this going to work? Is this too much? And I might not even start with the whole plan at once, because that's a lot. That's like 0 to 60. Boom. It's too much. So you might want to ease into it so that over the course of a month, you are adding. By the end of the month, you are full on in your schedule. So there we have it. That's how we put our plan together. We're going to use that as a roadmap. We'll make tweaks along the way. As things come up, we go, oh, I thought this, but it's not actually true. I need to adjust my thinking, adjust my plan. You're allowed to do that. If you have any questions about putting this plan all together, put them in the chat. I'll get back to you, and happy planning.